The motorcycle hovers at the edge of the cliff. Engines roar, the wind howls, and in one heart-stopping moment, Tom Cruise launches himself into the abyss. No stunt double, no CGI cheats, just Tom Cruise doing what only Tom Cruise would even dare consider. This isn't just a movie scene. It's a symbol of a career defined by risk, of a man who redefined what it meant to be an action star, and of a franchise that's about to say goodbye. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning isn't just another action movie. It's the swan song of one of Hollywood's most iconic series, and for many, the end of an era. So, what can we expect from the final mission? Tom Cruise has built a legacy out of defying expectations. Over the years, he's evolved from the cocky kid in Top Gun to the face of death-defying action cinema. And at the heart of that transformation lies Ethan Hunt, the IMF agent who's been running, jumping, flying, and falling through impossible odds since 1996. Across 7 films, we've watched Hunt battle corrupt governments, rogue agents, and apocalyptic threats. But this 8th and final installment promises something even more intense: a conclusion. Insiders and early production leaks suggest that The Final Reckoning is going to take everything that fans love about Mission Impossible and dial it up beyond 11. We re-talking high-speed chases through the streets of Rome, underwater escape sequences filmed without oxygen tanks, and yes, even outer space has been teased. Tom Cruise, never one to be outdone by himself, reportedly underwent spaceflight training to prepare for sequences that may take the IMF further than they've ever gone before, literally and figuratively. But the action is only half the story. For the first time in the franchise's history, we're getting a look into Ethan Hunt's past. The Final Reckoning is rumored to introduce characters connected to Hunt's origins: former allies turned enemies, ghosts from failed missions, and a betrayal that could fracture the entire IMF organization. One thing is clear: this won't be a clean finish. It'll be messy, emotional, and, as always, impossible. Director Christopher McQuarrie, who's worked alongside Cruise on multiple Mission Impossible films, has promised that the film will be an epic, emotional conclusion to the franchise. And given how the last film, Dead Reckoning Part 1, left fans hanging with cliffhangers and unfinished business, there's a lot riding on this. Will Ethan Hunt survive? Or will the series pull the unthinkable and kill its central character? McQuarrie has hinted that sacrifice will be a major theme. That has fans nervous, because when Ethan Hunt sacrifices, he doesn't do it halfway. The film also marks the return of fan-favorite characters like Ilsa Faust, played by Rebecca Ferguson, Benji Dunn, played by Simon Pegg, and Ving Rhames as the ever-loyal Luther. But the cast doesn't stop there. Hayley Atwell, whose character was introduced in the previous film, is expected to take on a much larger role, possibly even inheriting the legacy of Hunt in some form. Vanessa Kirby's White Widow also returns, and early plot rumors suggest she's playing both sides in a way that could change the game entirely. What's especially unique about The Final Reckoning is that Cruise himself is deeply involved in every layer, from writing to producing, to, of course, performing every single stunt. He's not just acting in the film, he's shaping it. And at 62, the fact that he's still doing his own stunts, skydiving, free climbing, and engaging in brutal fight choreography, isn't just impressive. It's almost unbelievable. In many ways, this film is a love letter from Cruise to his fans. A final gift to the audiences that stuck with him through decades of cinematic evolution. Of course, with such a high-profile finale, the stakes aren't just emotional, they're financial. Paramount is reportedly pouring over $300 million into production and marketing. There's already talk of a multi-city global premiere tour, with Cruise planning to attend each in person. IMAX theaters are preparing special extended preview nights, and fans are even organizing watch parties for every previous film leading up to release day. This isn't just a movie, it's an event, and the internet can't get enough. Reddit threads are full of theories. TikTok is flooded with behind-the-scenes footage and reaction videos to the trailers. Fans dissect every poster, every trailer frame, every line of dialogue for clues. Who is the final villain? Will Ethan Hunt finally find peace, or will his mission truly never end? Every fan seems to have a different theory. Some even believe that Cruise is setting up a spin-off universe with new characters. Others are convinced that The Final Reckoning is, well, final. Hollywood has seen its fair share of long-running franchises, from James Bond to Fast and Furious, but few have aged with as much grace and intensity as Mission Impossible. Part of that is Cruise's obsession with realism. No green screens unless absolutely necessary. No stunt doubles unless the insurance company absolutely insists. He's willing to dangle from helicopters, leap between buildings, and launch motorcycles off cliffs, all for the audience. In an age of AI-generated effects and digital facelifts, Tom Cruise is still betting everything on real sweat, real danger, and real performance. And let's not ignore the emotional weight. Ethan Hunt has always been a man haunted by his past, driven by a relentless need to save everyone, even when it means risking himself. But what happens when the mission finally becomes too big? When even Ethan Hunt can't escape the cost? That's the question The Final Reckoning is poised to answer. Will he finally stop running? Will he find redemption? Or will his legacy be one of eternal sacrifice? Tom Cruise has remained one of the last true movie stars in an era where fame is often fleeting and franchises outlive their actors. But he's never been content with riding on reputation. With this final mission, he's pushing the limits of what a farewell can look like. It's not just an ending. It's a statement that cinema still matters, that practical effects still thrill, that the heart of storytelling still beats strongest when the actor behind the character is willing to give everything. And fans are ready. The trailers are clocking tens of millions of views within hours of release. The soundtrack, with its signature ticking time bomb motif, is already sending chills through teaser montages. Social media is ablaze with countdowns. Merchandise is flying off shelves, and the phrase, "your mission, should you choose to accept it," has never felt so final. But perhaps the most profound part of all this is watching Tom Cruise say goodbye. He's hinted in interviews that this may be his last action role, that after this he may step back, at least from the death-defying stunts that made him a legend. He talks more about storytelling now, about directing, mentoring, maybe producing new stars. But whether this really is his final bow or just the end of a chapter, one thing is certain. Tom Cruise is leaving everything on the screen. As the countdown to release ticks on, one thing's for sure. This isn't just another summer blockbuster. This is history in the making. A closing chapter on a franchise that redefined what was possible in action cinema. A farewell to a character who never gave up, never backed down, and never, ever failed the mission. And perhaps a goodbye from an actor who gave his all, not just for the role, but for the audience. So, are you ready for one last ride with Ethan Hunt? Let us know your predictions in the comments. Do you think he'll survive? Or will The Final Reckoning live up to its name in the most unexpected way? And if you're just as hyped as we are for this cinematic milestone, hit that like button, subscribe to the Celebs Empire, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update from the world of Hollywood. Because this mission might be over soon, but the legends never die.